Hi, today I'll be explaining how to monitor vegetation growth using a vegetation plot in regulation to the Team Vegetation Monitoring Protocol. The annual census of above-ground stems is the most vigorous way of monitoring climate and land usage changes within above-ground biomass and plant growth. The Team Protocol is valuable to this process as it provides a solid methodology to measure these effects on forest growth, mortality, and function. The following guidelines are stated by the Team Protocol to achieve the best results. A minimum of 6 1-hectare plots placed randomly within the core study area must be used. Each plot should be of homogeneous soil type and terrain and free of water bodies. Plots should be stratified if placed on an elevation gradient. This is achieved by using 2 plots at each level. All tree stems with a greater or equal to 10 cm diameter at the diameter at breast height should be measured. This is 1.3 meters. All sampling of vegetation plots must be done within a 4 to 5 week period during the dry season, and subsequent recensus should be done during the same time each year. Though before any monitoring is undertaken, the location of each plot must be approved by the Team Network Office. Before sampling can be done, a crew must be trained in the following 3 areas, and all equipment must be gathered. Here is a list of equipment that you will need to establish the plots. To begin, the 2 baselines need to be marked out. These are the lines of 2 sides of a square at a 90-degree angle. To start, place stakes every 10 meters along the first baseline, beginning at the 0.0 mark, working towards the 100.0 mark. Be sure to keep the line straight by using a compass and climometer. While doing this, every second point needs to be marked with orange tape, as these are the subplot corners. The second baseline can then be marked out in the exact same manner. With the 2 baselines correctly marked, the subplots can then be marked out. Begin at the 10.0 mark and place a stake every 10 meters towards the 10.100 mark. It is important to assess that the line is straight by checking at the 40 meter and 100 meter marks that the line is exactly 10 meters away from the baseline. Continue marking out the remainder of the lines in this fashion until the entire hectare is complete. Be sure to mark every second point with orange tape and check the straightness of the line. With the plot now ready, the first census can commence. Here is a list of equipment which you will need for the first census. Requirements of the first census are that all stems with a greater or equal to 10 cm diameter at the DBH must be identified and measured. Point of measurement must be marked. Each stem must be tagged with its own individual number. Painting and tagging must be visible when walking through the plot. The simplest way to sample the plots and to give a clear visible path of markings is to focus on the one subplot at a time. This can further be simplified by breaking each subplot into 10 by 10 meter sections, focusing on one before moving on to the next in an S-shaped pattern all the way to the 0.100 mark as seen in this picture. Then move to the adjacent plot before working back down in the same fashion. To collect the following data, the following steps must be taken. Measure up the stem 1.3 meters using the pre-measured stick. Make sure to clear away all bark and moss so the measurement isn't hindered. Pull the tape around the tree. Be sure to check that it's not twisted and it's the right way up. Read the number which crosses over the 0 centimeter mark to the closest millimeter. The note taker records the measurements read out and by the diameter taker. The diameter taker marks a POM which the painter then paints. The tree must be tagged with a unique number at the 1.0 mark using an aluminium tag. Now, be sure to face the nail downwards. Enter the data into the Team approved Excel template and then upload this to the Team network. Recensus must be completed 1 year later, during the exact same time. The process of measurement and data collection is very similar to the first census, as all previously measured and tagged trees will be measured again. Additional trees which have grown will now be identified, measured and tagged in the same fashion as done in the first census. The equipment required is slightly different to the first census, mainly in the documentation which is taken. It is important when taking the new measurements to compare to the old data. The note taker must request remeasurement if there is any discrepancy within readings. If paint has come off or the tag has been lost, they should be replaced at this time. Like the first census, data must then be entered and uploaded. This protocol provides a very good outline for a solid methodology on this process and a good detail in how to deal with problem trees, and gives excellent flow charts to follow. However, it gives very little explanation on how to actually paint the POM and doesn't provide any explanation on how to interpret the readings. Thank you for your time, and I hope this was educational.